Now we're back.
Brief intermission. Done. Yeah, to finish the thought, and then I don't know how much longer you guys want to go for tonight, just as we're 10:30 already. Frank, it's what, it 1 o'clock over there. What fucking time is it?
12:40.
12:40. Okay.
You're a trooper. I don't
So
know how you do it.
hey,
I can
money
stay up
never
a few more
sleeps.
hours
You know what I mean?
and go back to coding.
What do you,
Yeah, you still work afterwards.
Probably. If I can't sleep, might as well. Gotta
you
get
should
this thing
sleep.
working.
What you should do. You know what I mean?
Eh.
It's a helpful thing. It's all the ivermectin he's taking. It's wired him out. You know what I mean?
Iodine blue, or what's it called?
Whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
Methylene blue?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude. I got some. I recommend it.
Yeah. Where'd you get it, though? I want a good source.
I got it from Amazon, dude.
He
They've
orders
got
it in bulk from
pharmaceutical
generally.
grade methylene blue on Amazon for like $25.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what manufacturer to trust. Also, what's it like with the whole dye thing? Like methylene blue and like it like fucking up with your tongue or whatever. Like it just dyes your tongue blue.
I didn't know. No, I just when I drink it, I just rinse my mouth out with water right after, and it's good. They
Methylene
make
blue,
these like
pharmaceutical grade.
yeah. It's yeah, it's pretty cheap.
We're gonna get canceled just by talking about this.
Hey, you guys are talking about it. I don't take that shit.
Guilty by association, motherfucker.
We'll capture both sides. We'll be like Bud Light, but we'll do it right. We'll capture both sides of the political equation.
Oh damn!
You know.
4.9
Yeah.
stars.
Yeah.
332 reviews.
Do
Keep
you
going
guys
down. I'll show you
trust
the one I got,
those? You know what I mean?
or maybe I'll just
I
go grab it.
can't people just
Oh,
like,
there it
isn't
is.
that
It's that Earth Harmony one. Wait, go down. Yeah, that one. That's the one I get. 107, 1.7 thousand reviews.
do you guys really believe in the reviews?
I
And
do.
how much
Yeah.
you do?
I mean,
I
I use
can't.
it as a gauge. If I don't like 100% believe all of them, but it's like it's a good gauge if there's a lot of 5-star reviews and a lot of verified purchases.
So is the I don't know as much about it. I know there was a rash of people hiring like people to make dummy accounts and submit 5-star reviews and like to pad their stats essentially
Yeah.
to make
For
them seem
Amazon, you
more.
have to buy a product in order to be able to leave a review. I thought.
I
Well,
don't know. Is that how
it'll
it
say
works? It's
verified
verified.
purchase. Yeah. So if you go to the
Okay.
review, it'll say verified purchase. Yeah.
I thought
What
all
what
of
if
them had
you
to
what
be.
if- what if you like? But what if you like Ponzi scheme it where you're buying your own product and so like you're just paying yourself and just
Good.
circularly sending it and then just creating different accounts and I mean that's elaborate and
I'm sure you could.
ridiculous, but
I'm sure people do it.
there's
I
the
mean,
tongue. Wait, no, go into the one with the tongue.
oh, that guy's doing it
Yeah,
wrong.
here we go.
That guy's
Look at
trying
this.
to get his tongue blue.
I mean, it
That does
definitely
not
looks like
happen.
it. Look at the other one. What was the other one?
That guy's an idiot. Don't look at his shit.
Although he gave it 5 stars, you
He's
know what I
clearly
mean?
like getting it all over the place. Yeah.
It's like those commercials with the Tupperware containers and the mom's like, "Do you have this problem?" She like opens the top cabinet and like millions of Tupperware just start pouring down on her. She's like, "Ah!" And she's like screaming, terrified of the Tupperware. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're going deep on the fucking Soylent Blue here.
Soylent Blue.
Yeah, I have no idea what these. Oh, what do we got? Oh, chat. We're doing chat GPT stuff here.
It's supposed to be good for energy production. Like it's supposed to be really good for your mitochondria.
Yeah, it promotes ATP production or something rather. I forget.
Oh
Something like
shit,
that.
ATP production. Damn. I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about this stuff to have a solid opinion about it. I don't know. I mean, if you're buying, how much is placebo? How much is real? If it's helping you, does it matter? I guess how predatory is it? If it's not helping, Like
That's the thing.
really,
My cabinet is full of supplements that do not work. So
yeah,
this
right? You
one I
know,
vouch for. It I do notice a difference. I just keep on forgetting to take it.
I
Uh,
mean, I don't know. I guess it depends because I know you've gone through stuff, Adam, where you had like you had the low testosterone, you had some issues that you were have been trying to address, with your kind of health is a general thing. Apart from me being fat, like I'm totally fine. Like I don't. I guess maybe I'm not the person that would be targeted for this because like I just don't know what it would gain out of taking it. You just like what you just feel better or alert. I don't.
Yeah, more energy. I suffer
Mhm.
from fatigue all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for a cure for that, and I just like always push through workouts. So you know what I mean? It's like so I eat right. I work out all the time.
it's more than a lot of people do, man.
Yeah.
But
I'm
it's
sure.
really frustrating being fatigued all the
Yeah,
time,
it is.
So
It is. Have you thought about doing that? Remember we were talking before.
Well,
This is
but
a
like,
subject that we have talked about before. Is like doing like a parasite cleanse.
yeah. Yeah.
but like, okay, but hold on. Like, there's levels to these things, right? Like, again, when you talked about it, Frank, when you were talking about your fatigue levels, it just really felt like you had just worked all day and were kind of tired. Like,
I
like,
sit at a desk the majority of the time.
no, I get that, but it can be like I have sat all day playing video games and my fucking body hurts because I sat on my ass all day. Like your body's not meant to sit in one position all day. They're like it's painful. Your body will literally be hurt.
I said the majority of the
And
time.
I'm just saying, like everybody that works a 10-hour day job. Oh, there we go. Is he's like 10 hours. I do 16 minimum.
Yeah, but I mean,
Uh,
also everybody knows their body. Like when you're alert and when you're tired.
no,
If
for
you're
sure.
more fatigued than you should be,
What
you know.
Sure, but what I mean is like is there it's like overprescribing Adderall to people who have ADHD, right? Or the probably overdiagnosis of like, autism spectrum disorders, like where you're like, yes, you probably do have some sort of spectrum disorder, but it is so minor that like it is almost unworthy of even being mentioned. We can categorize it and say everybody's on a spectrum and like we should for like studying purposes and all sorts of things, but are you focusing on it in a way where you're IDing it as the cause of problems in your life when it's not? You know what I mean? We're like, yeah, you're just kind of fatigued. Maybe you should find ways of relieving stress. Like, there's a lot of different ways to do
Fatigue
that
and stress
without
are two
like
different things.
turning. They're not. They're very similarly related. People that are overstressed are fatigued often. Those two things. John had a fucking heart attack because of stress. Like the stress level is directly related to almost every bad health effect in the human body. That it's why the placebo effect works. Your
I don't know.
brain.
These days, I feel like I'm stressed out of my mind, but I'm not fatigued. Like
Sure,
so, it's
but
like
so,
I have a hard time argue or seeing the argument that
well, here's an argument for
fatigue
you.
and stress are somewhere related. I feel like you can have two symptoms at the same time. Like,
So here's an argument for you. I'll give you one. You can take it or leave it. There's a thing that happens when you have heart problems where they don't want you to numb the pain because the pain is an alert system that tells you to stop. And
right,
if you can't hear the alert because you've numbed it, you
right.
just keep working until you have a heart attack. And so stress is an important part of your life. Fatigue is also an important part of your life to let you know that you are being worked too hard. And if you take things to numb that, do you end up just working yourself into an early grave because you're not aware of like you've fucking numbed yourself up to be like, this is fine. I got no problems going on right now. I feel great. You know what I mean? All the way in there.
I would say that the only time that that's really a good argument is if you're literally not sleeping, right? If you're and not getting good quality sleep, because maybe it has to do with your sleeping as well, because I feel like that's an overlooked factor in a lot of people's lives and their energy levels is their quality of sleep. Like
It's huge. Yeah.
you could be going to sleep at the right time and waking up at the right time, but if your quality of sleep's not good, like if your brain's just not getting enough oxygen while you're sleeping, or you're just not sleeping, deeply enough, you're not resting enough. It doesn't matter how long you sleep. So maybe
Mhm.
what you need to do is also have an analysis on your sleeping patterns and your breathing patterns when you're sleeping. Do you snore or wake up with sore throats a lot?
Um, sore throats, sore throats sometimes, and I actually do have a sleep study coming up.
Oh, good.
Well,
That's
yeah, I
great.
mean, that's sleep apnea. You're discussing sleep apnea at that
Yeah,
point, right?
yeah.
So, you're talking about not getting, and that's its own medical condition, right? Which it doesn't matter what you're taking. You're not going to get around if you have sleep apnea. You have sleep apnea. You have to deal with that underlying medical issue. You know what I mean?
Well,
But this is the exact same thing. If you have sleep apnea, and you're fatigued because you have sleep apnea and you start taking supplements that make you not feel fatigued, you don't realize you have sleep apnea. And then it goes undiagnosed, and sleep apnea is proven to cause like early heart attacks and health concerns. And so in that scenario, taking a supplement that eliminates fatigue on somebody who has sleep apnea is a bad thing to do, right? I'm not saying it's bad for you. I'm not saying it's bad for everyone. Taking things to alleviate fatigue is not in and of itself a bad thing. But when you just wholesale be like, fatigue is something I want to eliminate from my life, it feels like like a bridge too far. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not
Like
saying
there's
eliminate. I'm saying it's something that I've struggled with for
yeah. And
years, and so
if you're
I've had all my blood work done. I
yeah,
live a relatively healthy lifestyle, and I'm not just like taking things willy nilly to try and get rid of fatigue. I know there's a difference. I know my body well enough to know there's a difference between being tired because I should be tired because I've worked a lot, I've worked out a
mhm,
lot, and just being fatigued for no reason. And that's the big
sure.
puzzle piece.
I will, but so let me ask you a question. In that scenario, you were saying that you know your body, so you know the difference, which means there was a time when you weren't fatigued.
Yeah, and occasionally I will not be fatigued. I'll be like, "Whoa, okay, I feel okay right now."
So
But the
there's ebbs and
majority of the time, I am
flows
fatigued.
to it, right? Have you done any kind of analysis onto like when do I feel better? When do I not feel better? Like scientific approach of like what did I eat today? What did I do? Something go right in my life, something go wrong in my life. Do you journal at all? Any of those sorts of things to try to key in on factors in your life that can contribute to those things?
Food
Because some people do.
definitely helps. I mean,
Food for sure.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole approach is a lot of my approach to life is about fatigue. So, food I have to eat right. I can't if
Yeah.
I eat junk food, I know I'm gonna feel like shit. That's an obvious one.
Fact. Scientific
Exercise,
fact for sure. Just
exercise.
another big
Generally
one.
feel better after exercise.
Yep.
But it's not like a cure all. It's not like that's the thing that is making me fatigued. Is not exercising. It's just it alleviates it a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, I like it's an interesting subject, right? Which is like, and I'm between the three of us, I am by far the most unhealthy. I have been the most unhealthy for sure. At my max, I was like 310, probably 315, maybe somewhere around there, right? So like, and height of like COVID, right? Like we weren't exercising, we weren't going out. There was a lot of really terrible, health side effects that have probably taken years off of my life for sure, just because carrying that much weight is horrific for you. And like, I
Yeah,
can
for so
absolutely,
long.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Both those things, carrying weight and for doing it for a long time, horrific for life expectancy and health outcomes and all sorts of things. And, I can absolutely attest to, and I've come down a few times from 300 to 220 or so. I'm on my way back down again to 69 ish at the moment. And yeah, like absolutely. The shit that you eat, your general activity, all those things will affect it. You know what I mean? And when you lose that weight and when you do get healthier and you know just better physically, a lot of psychological positives come in as well as fatigue issues and all sorts of stamina it's just like also quitting smoking, quitting drinking, right? Doing drugs, those sorts of things. Every time I've come off of those things, you get a rebound of like how good you feel. But I do think there also is like a plateau effect that happens. Like I remember when I stopped smoking, and after I want to say like 6 months, right? Like I got my lungs started to clear, and like suddenly, like I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to breathe oxygen in a somewhat normal way. You know what I mean? And it felt really good. And for the next like year or so, like I was feeling really, really good. But then like you kind of lose that high of like, oh, it's something has changed into now it's just normal, and you kind of lose that like the benefit of like the psychological effects of it, which is interesting. But I don't know, everybody's different. And if you are seriously struggling where like every day it's a struggle, it's in the way of your work, you can't maintain relationships, you can't function because of fatigue, then absolutely, like that's a huge medical effect. Or it's just a detriment, like you just feel terrible all the time. Like John had, they call it fibromyalgia, right? Which is like tangential to fatigue, which is like his body just hurt all the time. He would always say that he felt like he worked out all the time, and his body just like constant, like almost like distortion, like reverberation, right? Like all the nerves are firing in your body and shit like that. And so, you know, if it's that level, you need medical intervention for sure, and you should be seeking it. And I guess it's interesting to see where you guys come in on that spectrum of like serious medical problem to like, I'm just looking for ways to improve the general life enjoyment that I'm having. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's always you're always trying to strike a balance between, you know, yes, taking shortcuts here and there, maybe supplementing with certain things, to try and get the best outcomes with certain things if you're trying to fast track certain things. I've never really had any sort of serious health conditions for the most part. I always lived a fairly active and healthy lifestyle ish, aside from a few benders here and there. But other than that, I've worked out fairly consistently for a long time. Maybe last couple of years, I was a little on and off, but I maintain a healthy-ish weight, decent muscle tone, and I've watched what I've eaten. And it's fine. It's every now and then, you'll venture out and you'll test certain supplements to see if they give you any sort of favorable reactions or results. And I mean, I haven't ventured too much. I did some parasitic cleanses through, turmeric, ginger, uh, cayenne pepper, and garlic. Just blended that up into like almost like a little paste, put it in little ice cube trays,
And
and I
gave yourself
drink
the shits.
drank that as tea. No, not really. It's just
Isn't that the point? You kind of
it's
like
just difficult.
shit it
No,
all out.
no, it's supposed to just essentially kill the parasites within your gut. You know, because
Like if you could do things to make your body healthier, why wouldn't you do it? That's the whole thing.
yeah, yeah, but like
Sure.
anything, there's always going to be like you could do too much of it. Right,
Yeah.
so
And
I think it'd be good to
define
do it, like,
healthy.
maybe, like, on a biannual basis, because you don't need to do a parasite cleanse, like, every week, It's just like, if you have a serious
Sure.
issue, then yes. If you've eaten, undercooked meats consistently, then you should probably do that, and especially pork, and depending
Yeah.
on how
Or,
how long you let
I
it
mean,
be,
you could also just stop eating undercooked. If you keep getting parasites because you eat undercooked meat, maybe stop eating undercooked meat. You know what I mean? It just, it seems like on
Yeah.
occasion there's a lot of this stuff that exists in a realm of like a problem that is not necessarily a problem, right? Like it's a thing. Like it could be beneficial, right? But it also could just not be.
You're saying it
And
could
like
be
how,
prevented, you're saying?
well, what I'm trying to say is like I guess for me, I guess I'm talking for myself, and so I should clarify how I'm discussing this because for me, the times, and it's because again, and maybe I'm different than you two in this, but like I feel fatigue, right? Like I have fatigue when I wake up, I have fatigue when I go to bed, I work, I go on runs, all this. I'm also 35 years old. Age has a factor in all of this, gentlemen, and it's only going to get worse, consistently worse until we all die. Like there's a there was a term I saw about people who age. I forget the term. But it was like gracefully versus like not gracefully, right? Like people that are able to do it in a manner that is an acceptance for them, and those that just rail against it, right? And are just horribly upset that their bodies are aging and getting worse
Mm.
and degrading and limiting. And it just drives the quality of their life downward and downward and downward. And they seek ever more like escalating paths to try to alleviate the human condition, which is not possible, right? Like you could do some things and you should, right? Like you should eat well. You should try if there is a supplement that works for you, and you should, like it's good within reason. These things are cool, right? But if your life focus becomes I am living in an existential state of like dread about how my body is existing, and I need to constantly be looking for solutions to these problems. Like, how much bandwidth of your life is that eating up? How much energy are you focusing on trying to solve a problem that you probably can't solve because you don't have a medical condition necessarily. And for me, again, you guys may totally have medical conditions, may have things that you're trying to alleviate, but like again, it's a fine line, is I guess what I'm trying to say. Not trying to critique you guys and your choices to do things, but I do think that the way I look at it is slightly different in that you want to do things that are generally going to help your health, because in what I've seen, the basics tend to be the things that move the needle the most. Eating right, exercising, that's going to get you as far as you're going to mostly go. The supplements and other things can push you a little bit in one direction, but they're probably not going to solve major problems for you. You know what I mean? And if you're already relatively healthy and
Yeah, I
relatively
mean, we've
energetic,
kind of
you
touched
know what I
on
mean?
that
Like,
before. It's like, people that are going to benefit from things like supplementing with vitamins and minerals and things like that are people that are severely deficient in it. They're the ones that are going to see
yes,
the most impact to their everyday life is if they're severely deficient in it. If you're a normal, well balanced individual with a healthy ish diet, you're not going to notice it. Like I used to take vitamins here and there, and yeah, I know they were good quality vitamins and everything. I don't doubt that they were bad or good or whatnot. It's just that I believe that I didn't have any serious deficiencies. At the same time, it's like, oh, why not have an overage? Every now and then. Why not? I don't believe it hurts. Honestly, you're
you just
You muted
muted.
your mic.
You're muted, buddy.
You muted it.
sorry.
There you go. You're back.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like to overload my liver. So I don't
Mhm.
like to take multivitamins. I don't like to take too many vitamins at once. I spread them out over a period of a week. But other than that, yeah, I don't do much creatine. I'll probably start creatine soon, but that's once I
Mhm.
get into a little bit lower weight. I'm like hovering around 190, 195 on a day to day basis. So once I think I get down to like 175, 180, I think I'll probably start doing creatine, and I'll start kinda bulking
I'm a
up a
fan of
little bit more.
creatine for sure.
I
It
mean,
is, it even
it's the
has
most
in higher doses, like
yeah,
above 5 grams up to 10. It even has cognitive benefits.
yeah, yeah, it does, and it's one of the most studied supplements and with the least, if any, side effects. If anything, it gives you a rumbly tummy, like, I'll take that and have, like, good muscle tone and some cognitive benefits. I mean, there's people that say that you should take creatine every single day.
I
Because
do. I take it every day.
yeah, it's your body creates it naturally, and to have a slight overage is okay. Um,
Yeah.
so,
I
there's
just put it
no
in my water bottle every morning, and then by then,
yeah,
midday, I'm already done with it. And then if you don't, because if you take 10 grams of creatine at once, like with not a lot of water, it'll probably mess up your stomach a little bit. But if you,
yeah.
I just put it in this, and then by like noon, my water's gone.
I
And
mean, I use it purely for, like, for exercising, so I don't
yeah,
use it as a supplement, like, as a daily supplement. I'll use it just to get the extra reps because I think it does help boost, your like, your reps, and the amount that you can do towards the end of your workout so you can
oh,
get
totally.
a little bit more muscle tear,
Yep.
so I I see it as a form of a tool to, um, hypertrophy, essentially, so I use it to try and grow muscle tone,
Oh,
muscle
for sure.
mass.
Yeah. I notice a
Well,
huge difference. I'll do breaks like 2 weeks or 3 weeks where I won't take creatine, and I definitely notice with output at the gym.
so I got a question because I don't take creatine. I worked out at gyms throughout my life periodically. You know what I mean? And you guys are not bodybuilding, right? So you're not trying to like increase necessarily the size of your muscles,
I
I
am.
or
am
is that your so you're
trying to get
intentionally building
stronger
body.
and bigger.
Well,
Yeah.
but like, do you like when you go to the gym? Are you focused on one versus the other, or because like those can be very separate things, right? Like being stronger versus being having bigger muscles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
That's why
it's
Eddie
usually
Hall looks
both.
the
I
way
mean,
Eddie Hall
if you
looks,
do
just because he's
I
if you
mean,
do
part
progressive
of it,
overload, you're
yeah,
generally going to
progressive
get
overload.
stronger and bigger.
Sure.
yes and no to that, Adam. I feel like, because you have, okay, this is a good example, right? Like when you have a rock climber versus like a bodybuilder, right? A rock climber is going to have an insane, almost an inhumane amount of strength in his upper body that a bodybuilder may not have, and they also will likely have a lot more stamina as well. So when you're talking about, do I want to get bigger or do I want to be stronger, right? I want to find the the medium, right? I don't need to be the strongest project manager on the keyboard. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to have a good amount of strength to where if some shit pops off, I'm going to be able to take care of myself and maybe carry a person or two. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the kind of scenarios that I envision in my mind. It's like, hey, I need to make sure that I'm good, right? So I'm squatting, you know, 200, whatever, however many pounds. I'm not doing crazy weights and stuff like that. I want to grow muscle tone, and I want to overall be stronger. And sure, I want to look good while I'm doing it too. So aesthetically, there's
Mm.
a goal there as well. So I don't want to just be big because I don't need to be the biggest person.
But that's the thing, the difference between you and me. You grow muscle much easier than me. So I really have to focus on every rep going to failure or every set going to failure just to like barely make any progress. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
How
guys
many?
have like getting too big is not ever an issue for me. So it's like
It's very opposite for sure. It's like it's interesting, but like how many like you track calories for like how much you eat in a day?
these days no. But when
I
I
think
Yeah,
that's a big part of it. And
it's a usually it's like when you were tracking or like do you have any like guess like what do you like walk us through a normal day in the life of Adam eating food
nah, just tell me what your macro split is.
if he's not counting calories you think he knows his macro split.
Yeah, it's easier.
it would be
Well, and also how does the
if I'm bulking, like trying to eat in a surplus,
Yeah.
it was generally 40, 30, 30, 40 protein.
Yeah,
okay
that's
but
too balanced. I feel like you would have to up your protein quite a bit.
well but also just
Like,
like calorie it doesn't matter what percentage you're doing if your calorie intake is not high enough it doesn't matter if you're only eating 1,000 calories but it's split out amongst 40, 30, 30.
No,
You're
but
never going to
it
grow.
would be in a surplus.
in the
Well, no, I know, but
surplus.
that's what I mean. Like,
Whatever his
what is a
maintenance
surplus
whatever
for
his
you?
maintenance is.
What were you like when you were trying to bulk? What were you? Did you calorie count, or were you just kind of winging it and doing math?
Yeah,
Me
it
or
would
Adam?
be
Okay.
I think by maintenance it was like 2100 or 2200. So I was eating 23 to 2400 calories.
Yeah, I mean, like bodybuilders, right? Like, I mean, I could at the peak of my like eating, like I could be putting on like close to 4,000 calories a day, right? Like in a very unhealthy, completely backwards way. And I know there are some like when you're bodybuilding, right? Like those fuckers struggle to get in enough calories in a day. You know what I mean? Like it's a fucking
Because
slog for them to.
because they're doing clean, if you're trying to do clean bulk, right? Because when you look at
Sure.
like when you look at like 500 calories worth of veggies versus 500
Yes.
calories worth of like a
It's a lot more
pizza, you're
size.
talking volume. Like your jaw muscles would like
Yes.
start giving out before like anything
But
else.
also when you eat large amounts of high calorie fat foods too, like it is not easy to eat that much and not make yourself sick because like just eat consuming that many calories and that much food, like to get into the like, like 4,000 territories and things like that, right? Is difficult no matter what. It's
You
doubly hard
gotta
if you're doing it
you have to
clean
be a
because you're,
really big dude or a really active
Yeah.
dude to have 4,000 calories be
yeah, no,
your
no, for sure.
bulk,
But what I mean is
you know?
like the link
I've
between
seen 8,000.
the link
It's gotta be a
between
big dude who's super active. That
Oh, yeah.
is
the
insane.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
but so like the link between putting on weight and calories is ironclad, right? So like if you are trying to gain weight, you have to increase calories until you start gaining weight. And if your body burns calories faster because your body burns calories faster, it means you have to go higher than other people would. So somebody might only have to take in 2,500 to see substantial gains in muscle building, whereas another person might have to get into like 3,000 plus calories to like start seeing significant gains in that direction. And
But
if you're trying to do it in a clean
it's
way,
not
it's
only calories though. Yes, you have to be in a surplus, but if you're eating a surplus of mostly fat, you're not gonna gain muscle. You're not gonna gain the muscle you need.
but
So that's why Frank
you're
was asking about
you
macros.
like for
You
sure
can't just
having
eat in a
protein.
surplus.
No, but it has to be both. You have to eat in a surplus because if you're eating proteins in a macro count, but it's not enough calories to because your body needs to convert it into mass. So you need to calories is what it turns into like mass on your body, and protein is fat will convert. If I'm not mistaken, I'm delving into territories that I'm not as versed in, but I do believe that your body will convert it. It's just that protein is easier. It's a quicker transition, so you will see better gain in muscle mass if you focus on protein. But like for what's his name? I know a bunch of like vegan athletes and things like that who are large who don't consume like necessarily a lot of. I mean, I guess they take plant protein, which is similar, but it's struggle for them to get as much protein as like meteors will do. But yeah, it's I mean it's interesting, right? Like I bodybuilding's so crazy and because everyone is very different. Like you're right. Like I literally I have to like gaining weight for me is problematically easy. Like I can have a, a day or two of bad eating and it will take me like weeks to pull it off. Like my body just retains calories at all like fucking, to the nth degree, right? Which is it's kind of funny because like I was thinking about it, right? And biologically speaking, it would be a terrible creature that just sheds calories. Like can you imagine like in the evolutionary design, right? You're designing something that is a survivable, rugged creature. Like the first thing you're gonna do in terms of stats is be like, you hold on to calories for dear life. Because in evolutionary terms, very hard to find food in most scenarios for most animals, right? And so the ones that retain calories survive better than the ones that don't. So like human beings are largely designed to withhold calories and be efficient, which is why a lot of us struggle with the problem of gaining weight extremely quickly and then not being able to shed it at a easy
But
rate
I think
that it
it's
was
pretty
possible for
easy to
us.
lose weight as well because
Oh, it is
all it
simple.
involves is not eating.
Yeah. No, you're right. It is the simplest thing in the world.
It's easier.
People
It's
make
easier
it
to lose
super
weight than it is
complex.
to gain weight. Let's put it that way.
No, that's not true.
I don't think that no.
It's not.
The
It's not.
food
Then what do you
drive
I've
mean
done
by
both.
by,
is a
by
I've
more
done both.
survival
It's
difficult?
not
thing.
easier. Done both. It's not easier. It's much harder to
It's
lose weight.
easier physically. It's
It's
easier
not.
to lose weight than it is to
No,
gain it.
that's nonsense.
No.
Look, you want to
No.
You
see
have to
me
do
gain
less
weight?
work. You have
You
to
want
do
to see
less
me?
work.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, but the food
That's.
drive is
Oh,
a
you're talking about
survival
just like literally
instinct.
just
That's
sitting there and
It's
starving is
all
yeah.
mental, guys.
I mean,
It's
you're
all
not wrong.
exactly,
mental.
exactly.
You're
That's a
not wrong.
huge that's a huge part
But
of it. That's
again,
like
yeah,
the
exactly.
main part of it.
Saying something mental is what's his name? Mike Israetel talks about this shit all the time, right? This is his bread and butter. This is what he got all his PhDs in. There's all those talks about, right? And he was talking about the weight issue, which I entirely agree. Like all of even like the GLP-1 inhibitors, right? And like Ozempic and Wegovy and all that other bullshit. Like it proves the point. Like it works because it inhibits your appetite. It stops you from eating. Like that's the problem. It isn't like the types of food you're eating. It isn't, that your body creates this hormone or it has this thing. It's because you love food. Like you
Yeah,
keep
I don't
eating,
know why
which
people
makes
hate
you fat.
on
You know what I
I
mean?
don't know why people are hating on those. I think they're a great tool.
Phenomenal tool. Like America has an obesity problem. Here's a tool with little to no side effects that is proven to work. You know what I mean? And like, why would you not embrace that for people that are heinously overweight? The
And they're
the
saying like, "Oh, you there is some muscle loss when you take it." Well, just work out and just,
Yeah. Also
lift some
compare
weights and
that.
counteract the
So
muscle loss.
I
Don't just
feel
sit
like a
on
Also
lot
it.
of the
compare
times
that,
when
but
I feel like a
compare
lot of the
the
times
slight
though,
muscle weight to walking around at
sure.
300 pounds and the heart disease you're going to get and die, right? Like it's not even a comparison. That's like
Exactly,
saying
yeah.
the
Sure.
benefits of smoking
I just
because you
wonder
get
if that's
the
still
lesser.
like I wonder how strong it is, right? Because well, the GLP-1 inhibitor, what is it?
Yeah,
Agonist.
Does
it's an
that
inhibitor. Yeah,
somehow stabilize your blood sugar levels in some way?
I don't know. If, I know they prescribe it to people with diabetes, but I think they prescribe it not to control blood sugar. And they actually, I watched um, a couple of talks about this with some
What's the main
doctors that were
one?
doing this.
What's the main one?
Uh,
Ozempic.
Ozempic. So there was a guy, right? So insulin is what they were prescribed to people on diabetes who had blood sugar problem. And there was a guy who was like a part of this in the days of like the heydays of insulin being prescribed to people with diabetes. And they saw a thing, and I'm going to probably misquote it, but it essentially was that by prescribing the insulin, you were driving the blood sugars down, but you weren't curing the underlying problem, which was obesity. And so you ended up not improving long-term health outcomes. You were addressing some symptoms of the disease, right? But you weren't solving the problem, and people still ended up dying. And in fact, because you didn't solve the problem of obesity, which is the problem in diabetes, you were driving
The
them
problem is you keep
closer,
feeding yourself shitty food,
right? But
so you're
so
not
you had a
fixing that
thing.
either.
Right, well, exactly. And so you had a situation where you were being prescribed insulin by a doctor and they were saying this is going to help you, but they weren't talking to you about diet as in that is the only thing that is going to solve this. Because what they saw was in people with diabetes, even like you would get like type 3 diabetes. And back in the day, they would say this is incurable. Like you have this disease, you are going to die of this. Here's some insulin, you're fucked. What they found was that if you diet, it will remiss. Like it is absolutely based on food. It is overeating and it is food. And so if you can suppress the appetite, you resolve the underlying cause of what diabetes is and you see it go into remission. Like you still have to watch out for blood sugars and things like that. But like that's why that drug is so good. And it's why it proves the point that like it isn't your blood sugars, it isn't a hormone, it isn't any of these things. It is your appetite, it is you shoving food in your face. And if you can't control that, because there are some people who cannot control that,
Right.
then you end up with diabetes and things like this. And Israel talks about it, yeah, and he's got like a life philosophy on this shit, and I agree with it like to some level, which is that like almost everything in life depends on your conscientiousness and your is it genetics? I forget exactly what he was saying, but essentially, oh, you're like addictive personality, right? So like take weight loss. If you are somebody who really loves food, right? Like that's one part of the equation. So like some people will eat a chip and they're like, that was tasty. I'm done now. Right. That's not me. Like I will fucking eat an entire family sized bag of chips and then a tray of pizza bites and then like a giant Subway sandwich. Like I love food. Food is a part of me and I love it. And then the other side of it is like how in control of your impulses are you, right? And like, can you recognize that as a problem? And can you manage it and control it? And if you don't have good impulse control and you have an addiction to food, that's what happens, right? So you have to attack one of those two pillars in order to solve obesity. And a lot of the stuff that has been given out to try to solve the obesity problem is just wrong because it doesn't attack those basic things.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's kind of one of my main argument against using, like, things like Ozempic is that it may suppress those cravings there and there, in those instances or however long it is that you're taking it, but
You have to
are
stay
you
on
gonna be
it.
Are you
This is
gonna
the
be
thing.
taking those forever? And
Kind of.
that's the thing,
Yeah.
right? Because this is my mother, for example. She went to Costa Rica, she got some surgery done, she got some lipo done, and because it came so easily, she abused it, and then she went
Mhm.
right back to being overweight, and she's like, "Oh, maybe I'll just go back to Costa Rica and do it again." It's like, how many surgeries are you gonna go under? Like, how many times are you gonna put your body through that amount of stress? Or, some of the side effects that I'm seeing from things like Ozempic is like, you know, gallbladder problems, kidney issues, thyroid tumors,
They're fairly rare from
pancreatic.
what I understand. Those are fairly rare occurrences. And again, you're if you're offsetting the problems of 300 pounds and you're gonna die at 40.
And
You know what I mean? Like it's what I don't give a shit that I get a thing on my pancreas. You know what I mean? And I die at 65. It's not a comparison, right? So like the GLP-1 stuff I think is somewhat different in that like the symptoms are extremely mild and rare, and the benefit of, especially for people that are extremely overweight. Now, if you're talking about somebody who's like 150 and wants to be 130, maybe that's not a good use of it, right? Like maybe that is a risk that's too much, right? Like you're already healthy. There's no reason for you to be on this drug. You just kind of want to look a little bit better, right? Like that's a problem. So like I think for a tool for actually morbidly obese people, it is un it is a panacea, right? It is actually a cure all. And if you pair it with actual psychological help and like diet coaching and like realistic training and coaching, in that it is not just this drug, but it is this drug which tells you it is your lifestyle, it is your food, it is your addiction that you need to resolve. It's transformative. You know what I mean? But interestingly, like what you're talking about with your mom, it does like as you, and this was like Mike Israel talking about everything, right? It's a similar thing with like finances. You get the same people in the same thing, right? Like people who are addicted to spending, people who can't control it, who like to buy things, who like to spend on stuff like that, right? And they will dig themselves into debt, right? And if you're not conscientious enough to curb it and to control it and to make sure that you're building your money in the correct way, you'll just go further and further and further into debt. And some people will consolidate their debt and put it onto like, get rid of 5 credit card debts, put it onto one single loan with the lower interest rate to try to pay that off. And so kind of like your mom getting a liposuction, they're like, look, now I only have one. I had 6 payments. Now I have one payment and the interest rate's low. And so everything's good now. And then what do? They go right back into abusing it because you didn't solve the underlying problem, right? You moved the money around, but your problem isn't the money. Your problem is your behavior. Your problem is the way you
Behavior.
use money, your addictive, your conscientiousness, and your impulse control and your addictive nature. Those are the problems. There isn't another problem here. Those are the problems. You know what I mean?
right.
So
Adam,
it's
where are you at in
interesting.
your cycle? Are you currently bulking? What are you actually doing right now?
No, I'm
He's
just
in the
maintaining. Since I
Maintaining?
started martial arts, I haven't been like seriously lifting. I just lift
gotta
on days
lift,
that
bro.
I don't train.
Gotta lift,
So
bro.
it's harder to um
Put that Twinkie away.
it's harder
Bigger
to
than yours, bro.
like be on a lifting schedule because it's like I lift whenever I'm not training, whatever days that falls on. So I'm just eating like a maintenance diet and still trying to do like some progressive overload, but
Huh.
mostly just kind of maintaining at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right now I'm trying like my deficits that I'm trying to run are like if I can maintain like 1700 calories, I continue to lose weight. Somewhere between like 15 to 2000 is where I'm hovering on average, probably in 1700s, right? And so
What are you burning a day?
it depends. Like I was doing better with actual activity, but I recently, the last couple of weeks, I haven't. Work has been, just shitty, and I haven't had time to do much of anything. I was like walking into work and walking during lunch, and then walking after. I was doing like 6, 7 miles a day, like 13 on the weekends and stuff like that. But
So
so that
you think you're
slowed it down a
burning
bit.
are you burning like 2100, 2200? What are
Yeah,
you burning a day?
probably just to exist, probably around that. Yeah, you know what I
And
mean. So like, I,
you're eating 1700 a day?
yeah, around there. So it's a slight deficit, that is. it's been working. Like I said, down from like 3 something to 69 in 3 months or so. So I think it was averaging like a couple pounds. It's like 5 pounds a month, something like that.
That's pretty good.
I can't remember. Like it was like it's been legit. I fucked up because when I went down to LA with Cecilia, we went to Knott's Berry Farm, in and out. Like I was working down there, I was ripping apart their apartment, which was cool. But so that was spending calories, right? But I went to In and Out. They kept buying me food and making me shit, and my impulse control is
Why'd you
shit.
keep saying
So
yes?
because my impulse control is shit.
Hmm.
It's like I'm good. I can maintain extremely well when I control my temptations. When outside temptations start getting around me, it becomes problematic for me for sure. So like I
Yeah,
have to be very rigid, otherwise I will spiral very quickly.
I'm lucky in the sense like I'm okay with eating the same thing every day. So, and that's what I
Me
do.
too.
So I have the same thing for breakfast, the same thing for lunch, and the same thing for dinner.
Yep.
So I figured out kind of like a meal plan that just kind of works for
Yeah.
maintenance, and that's what I do.
Yeah. It's that's huge. Honestly, like if you're trying to lose weight, and that's why like, calorie counting works. If you meal plan and you have a diet that's working, like Frank said, it is the simplest thing in the world. Like it's also good for your budget. Like it's easy. You don't spend as much time worrying about food. Like just find a meal that works that's tolerable, eat it. Once you've eaten it and you're full, you don't care. Like you don't care that you didn't eat something super tasty. You're full. You're done. You know what I mean? So like eat that consistently and you'll lose weight. How that
You
shit
need to
works.
follow your
It's
own
not rocket
advice there,
science.
Bubba.
I am. That's how I'm
What's your
losing weight, my guy.
what's your regimen, Frank?
Don't eat.
He doesn't eat.
Yeah, but I mean, like you just said, I know you're
If
off
I'm
your,
main, if
you
I'm
haven't worked out this
maintaining,
week, and
if
you're
I'm
off your.
maintaining, I
Is it a
usually don't.
fast day though?
Yeah, like during the week, I'll just have coffee for breakfast. Lunch, have 2 tacos. Some meat and some carbs, and I'll come home and then I'll work out pretty hard, and then I'll have my protein shake, and then I'll have rice, beans, and some protein and
Yeah,
broccoli.
yeah.
Um,
That's
Like
what
my
that's what
dinner.
it is. Like it's so unsexy, right? But it's like, what do you eat?
That's my
Chicken
dinner
well,
and
during the
first of
rice
day.
all,
and
first
salad.
of all,
Like,
they're home cooked
exactly.
beans. They're
Yeah.
home cooked beans. I cook the shit out of those beans.
So they're tasty.
Right? Sometimes I'll
Yeah.
throw an egg in there, right? So sometimes
Hey.
I do a little bit
Yeah.
of hot sauce.
You gotta, yeah. For, hot sauce is the savior for sure. Like like
Yeah,
again, I like
yeah.
my meal right is like it's same thing. I eat the little like cup of like brown rice and quinoa. I have the like right now I bought like 3 pounds of ground turkey, and I just fucking ground beef cooked it up in a giant frying pan, and I'm just doing like a half a pound of ground turkey on the rice, and then putting
Yep.
like the pickled jalapenos on top of it with like some hot sauce, and like and delicious, that in the salad, and just eat that shit every single day. And
I would ease up on the rice there,
I'm
Mike.
no, the rice is good. Carbs are good, man. Carbs are good for your brain. You need to have some carbs. They're important.
Yeah, I would go for like broccoli carbs for you.
Yeah, rice is totally fine. It's very specific because I have, if you go into the stores, they're the little like they get sold in a pack, and there's like two little cups, right? And so it's very controlled calorie rice, right? I'm not like eyeballing it or anything. It's a very small amount of rice.
I also hear that
It's like
white
it's
rice
like
is a little
200
bit better
calories.
than brown rice these days.
I've heard
Yeah.
mixed things on both. Um,
My
I mix it up. I mix it up. I
my
literally,
I just do
I eat a
jasmine
lot of
rice
rice,
now.
man. I cook a bunch of rice, and that's what I eat all week, and that's my
yeah,
lunch and dinner carbs.
I can
the
show you my
rice
fridge right now.
the
Yeah,
rice
It's
thing
that.
is again it's calories. So like if you're eating 200 calories of brown rice versus 200 calories of white rice, is there a difference?
there
Overall
is.
health,
Small amounts of fiber, but I feel like with
tiny.
brown
Like
rice,
you're
it's dirtier.
what's your goal? You know what I mean? Again, is it getting you towards weight loss, right? Is it how like if you were looking at like if you took two people, one person doing my diet with white rice and with brown rice, do you realistically think that one rice meal versus the other would drastically change the weight loss that they're both doing if every other control
You
was
know
the
what would,
same?
Mike? If you didn't eat for 2 days.
That would I
And
would
then
just
just do
immediately
that
drop
do
to
that like once
150
a month.
is what I
Do
would do.
just all
It
I'm
doesn't
asking you is do
matter.
that once a month.
I don't need to do that once a month to lose
I
weight.
think you
Like
do.
I had a friend who did nothing but but he did the it was like a French diet where it was like nothing but meat. Like all you could eat is meat, and I think like vegetables, but like you couldn't
Mm.
have oil, couldn't do anything else. And he just had a kid, and so he was becoming a father, and he was overweight, and he was trying to lose weight to get in shape for before the kid came. And so he went on this diet, and it fucking worked. Like he lost weight. He came over to my house one day, and he is literally doubled over in pain. Like his stomach hurt him so fucking badly. Like he was just in agony from having to go through this diet, right? I have had similar, if not better results eating normal balanced diet, just controlling calories, right? If you can have a fasting diet that loses weight, but overall it's still a calorie thing. You know what I mean? Like you still have to control your calories because calories are not just a daily thing; they're a weekly and a monthly thing, and that's what fasting does. Is you have to have a certain amount of calories per week per month in order to deficit yourself into losing weight. Because you can, if you fast, but I pig out on my non-fasting days, I ain't gonna lose weight. If you let me go ham the way that I would go ham, and I'm
Just
like, it's
continue
just
your diet. You don't have to do anything extra.
but I'm already losing weight. I'm already losing weight at a substantial rate. So why would I increase my pain for no reason or for minimal gain? You know what I mean? Like
Pain.
if it wasn't working, if I was still 300 pounds and what I was doing wasn't working, I'd be like, hell yeah, like maybe I should try some shit, right? But if you're seeing results, why would you increase the pain of your existence and the likelihood that you bail out and you're like, I'm done with this shit, right? Like that's another thing that people don't understand is like if your diet causes you pain, you are more likely to not succeed in your diet goals. What you want to do is have a diet plan that is comfortable and that works so that you are more likely to continue using the diet plan, right? So many people go to these extreme diets and they end up failing because it sucks. Shit fucking sucks. And I don't want to do this shit anymore. And they fuck off and then they end up getting all the way back. You
Well,
know
they
what I
don't
mean?
deserve
So,
to have the body that they want then.
hey, look, they deserve to die an early death, you fat fucks. Yeah, I mean, like, I agree. Again, it is me. I'm not blaming anyone else. You know what I mean? Like, I have an impulse control and I love food, so I am fat. That's exactly what it is. But
Well, I applaud your
being
efforts.
rational,
I think you're definitely doing real good. You know what I'm saying? Like you're actually sticking to your deficit, and you're seeing the results. So
yeah.
couldn't
Thank you.
ask for more. So that's good for you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I've done it a few times. It's always funny to me because, like you said, Frank, and so many things in life are really, it's that, right? Like, how do I get more money? How do I get in a relationship? How do I become a better writer? It's always like, how do you become a better writer? Write a bunch, like practice, right? Like, how do I get good at guitar? Practice guitar. Like, how do I lose weight? Stop eating. How do I get more money? Be conscious about your money and try to save it and grow it. Like all of these, like, that's why I get, like, whenever I hear people talking about like shortcuts and workarounds, it's like, it sounds like snake oil salesman to me. Like everything
Yeah,
I've seen in my life is like when you don't dance around the problem and you attack it, you will see the most results. Like there are other things that can help, but like if you are ignoring the underlying causes, you're never going to see results in whatever, like again, I want to be a better writer. And so you could take a bunch of like courses and spend all this money. And it's like, but you never actually write, or pay a bunch of people to like go to seminars on learn how to become a guitarist. It's like, but you don't practice you're never going to do it. Like you got to put in the work. Like no matter what you do, you can't get around having to put in work. That's what life is about. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I think the maybe not to the extent of never feeling pain. I think to some degree feeling stress physically is a good thing, right? Whether
Mhm.
you communicate that as pain or not, I think it should be for a good reason, right? So you don't want to just feel pain just for the sake of feeling pain and just because it's harder. I'll do it just because it's harder. But if you're looking for a certain outcome and if it takes pain to get there, eh,
Yeah,
I'm willing to do it. If with it's within reason and if it's safe.
yeah.
So I don't think
No,
that
I
anything that
agree.
we've discussed is anything that's unsafe. Specifically also like with supplements and experimenting with certain things, right? Obviously, we're not telling people to go out there and just start buying everything on Amazon and, you know, we want
No,
everyone to make educated, informed decisions as to consult
I
their physicians here as a disclaimer
I
to
think
everybody here.
I think for me, yeah, for sure. And I think for me, like the reason I come at it from the angle I do is in part because I think more so than you two, I am the demographic that a lot of these people will target because like you guys are relatively in shape. And so you're trying to do these things to kind of, well, maybe not you, Adam, because I know you've had some different problems, but like Frank, you're trying to do these things to improve outcomes. And so you're kind of testing the waters and trying things and getting different outcomes, but you're not living in a 300-pound body in knowing that you are going to die early because of your weight, right? You are like people like me, many of them are desperate to find solutions to their problems. And in that desperation, will turn to these supplements and turn to these things as the way to solve their problem. And it's not going to solve their problem. And it's marketed and sold to people like me as a way to solve your problem. And that's the problem I have with it, right? If you're generally healthy and you're using it just to be like, hey, does this help? Like, cool, right? But don't, it's, you want to lose the weight, you got to lose the weight. You know what I mean? You want to do these things, you want to have better health outcomes, you got to get at the underlying health problems in your life, not dance around it with supplements and other things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my take on it. And if there are fatties out there, all my fatties on this podcast, it's just gonna be nothing but fat people, fat liberals. It's gonna be Frank's worst nightmare. It's just gonna be nothing but like lesbian women and transgender people that watch this show to like cheer me on and my shitting down on Frank stuff. So and just all you guys stay strong out there. Oh
I'll
my,
manage the
my,
comments.
hey, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
You'll be like the dunk tank, right? We'll just put you out there and they can just smack you down. It'll be fun.
Mm.
But yeah, it's late as fuck. I know you. What is it over there now, Frank? What are you at? Like 3 in the morning by now? Jesus Christ.
It's 1:30.
1:30. Yeah. You guys, you feeling good for the fifth episode
I
here?
feel like this was like the 6th.
Is it the sixth? We've probably
We
done
had
like
we had like
12
2
in the
like
like.
we had too many episodes here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna have
we
to.
totally did one and then lost signal, and then we've had a completely different one when we came back on. Just immediately stopped the other one for sure. So
I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to merge them.
yeah,
Maybe
I you know
let's just record an intro to this one and just paste it to the beginning of this episode. 'Cause technically, this episode was like more about like supplementation and health,
yeah,
right? This is like a mini
it
episode
was
of like
all
1 hour.
mental health. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
we could
sure.
call it number 6.
Yeah,
Yeah. All
might
right,
as
Adam.
well.
Adam, this is your intro.
Yeah, throw the intro,
I
Adam,
did
on the
number 5.
supplemental. Number 5, then
Uh,
we'll have to do, and then you guys can do the outros for both of them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
welcome to the You Don't Know podcast. 3 friends who don't know what they're talking about, but
Yeah.
pretend like they do.
Mhm.
And I hope you enjoy the show.
You will, you fuckers. You better.
That's right.
Sweet. Cut and paste. Whoever, our phantom cut and paste person that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Julio.
Yeah. Julio, you son of a bitch.